notion of culture is very complex. It's for that reason I've created a new concept, which I think goes all the way to helping people understand culture in simple and practical terms. My concept is called UGRs, which stands for Unwritten Ground Rules. The best way to think about UGRs, or Unwritten Ground Rules, is that they are people's perceptions of this is the way we do things around here. And your team will have a mix of positive UGRs, negative UGRs, and some in between. I think there is nothing more powerful in a team or an organisation than its UGRs. And you know the incredible thing about UGRs? They are seldom talked about openly. The question is, are we aware of those, and to what extent are we happy to carry the less than positive UGRs? The question that we asked in our research was this: if the culture of your workplace was to become as good as it realistically could, how much improvement would there be on people's performance/productivity? I will stress this point. I will say 0 is a legitimate response. 58% of middle managers are saying 50% or more. These are big numbers. 1/4 of non-managers saying 80% or more. A good test for UGRs in any team or organisation is the new employee. A person who is new to a job, irrespective of their level of seniority, is quieter than what they normally would be. And they find out by deduction. They will look for certain cues and clues to deduce the UGRs in their new team or organisation. The hours people work. So do people arrive at the death knock? If it's a 9 o'clock start, are they arriving at the death knock? Are they looking at the second hand of their watch ready to sprint once it's finish time? Does a 10 o'clock meeting start at 10 o'clock, or do people saunter in at 10:15? If it's a 5 o'clock finish and everyone else is still there at 6:30, is the first person to leave at 20 to 7 frowned upon? If you arrive at a 10 o'clock meeting at 10 o'clock, does that demonstrate to other people that you're not busy enough? I know of a UGR which says around here, new people to our group are to be treated with the deepest suspicion until they prove their worth. I want to see, if meetings do happen, whether leaders commonly find reason not to attend the meeting. At a meeting, I'd like to see if a different point of view is ever raised. If it is, how's it greeted? I'd like to see at a meeting what is said immediately after the meeting. I'm going to share with you some actual UGRs that I've come across in the workplace. What I'm about to share with you are real, they are actual UGRs. At our meetings, it isn't worth complaining because nothing will get done. The only time anyone gets spoken to by the boss is when something is wrong. The organisation talks about the importance of service, but we know they don't really mean it, so we don't really have to worry about it. Our funniest jokes usually involve making jokes about our work colleagues. We go through the motions with our bosses. Once they're gone, we do what we want. We can use a 5-step process, and today I've got time to share with you a couple of those 5 steps to use UGRs both as a tool to understand and improve the prevailing culture. Step number 1 is what we call envision. For our customer experience initiative to be successful, what does our culture need to look and feel like? The second step of our process of using UGRs to understand and improve the culture is what we call assess. We've got people from 5 different companies to complete the sentence to what we now call lead-in sentences. How we can craft lead-in sentences linked to the cultural attributes that are necessary for our customer experience to be successful. Does this make sense? Thanks very much, folks.